Hi, it's me, Teresa again. I promised to tell you the story of how I accidentally drove, and I'm ready to do that. Okay, so this is like 30 years ago. I was about 20 years old and married for about a year to my first husband, and he borrowed a Volkswagen thing from a friend of his, which was a standard. And the only way it would start is if you pop started it, which means somebody has to push while the other person in the vehicle will, you know, push the clutch and the gas. And so I happen to be the only one available to help him this one particular day. And so he says, "Come on, you're helping me." I'm like, "I don't know what to do." He's like, "Just do exactly what I tell you." Okay, fine. So I get into the car and I sit there, and he's like, "Okay, your left foot put all the way to the floor, your right foot pump it when I tell you, and then hold it to the floor." So we did that, and he's pushing the car. The first time it stalled, and the second time it started perfect, and it was just purring and just going. It's going really nice, and he's starting to come up to the side of the car, and I think he wants to get in. So I think to myself, well, if he wants to get in, that means I got to get out. So if I start to get out, I take my foot off the pedal, and the next thing I know, me and the Volkswagen took off. We're going up the driveway, and the driveway is like a backwards L, and I'm headed towards the inside of the L where there's a tree. So my husband at the time, he goes, "Oh no, I know I'm buying this thing." And when he didn't hear me crash, he looked again, and come to find out that I had missed the tree and gone around the tree and turned up the driveway. Managed to stop because I'm thinking to myself, okay, if I took my foot off and I started, if I put my foot back on, it'll stop, right? Well, it stopped, and I've got my feet to the floor, and my hands gripped to the steering wheel like this, going, and the poor engine's going, burn, burn, burn. And he comes up along the passenger side, rips the door open, rips my leg off the gas pedal, and says, "What do you think you're doing?" And I'm like, look out the window, look at him 3, 4 times, and then just burst into laughing. And he started laughing too because I was lined up perfectly in the driveway. I mean, I was nowhere near off at all, one way or the other. And it was just so funny. And he goes, "You would have kept going if it weren't for the fact that you were going uphill." So, yeah, that was my adventure in driving. um, Although I tend to like to think that I would have been a good driver if I had the sight to drive. And that is the one thing I did miss the most being able to do when I was younger. But now I have to say, I miss the most being able to see clearly because when I was young, I did see clear. And now with my cornea going bad, everything's a big blur. So I had to say, just appreciate what you got. And I do. Even though I know my eyes are bad, they're not as bad as some. And even then, things could be worse. So always be grateful for what you have. And thank God for it every day. Talk to you later.